If you're just sitting there and you're just wondering how to make cash on the side, this is a great video for you, because I'll be talking to you about free money from the government, massive and easy government grants for flipping houses. Wonderful program, right? I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sturdy Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about free money from the government. And we are talking about massive and easy government grants for flipping houses, okay? So if you are interested in real estate, it will be in your interest to know what the grants are, right? Especially for investment properties. So today we have a compilation for you. And the our number one choice is Veterans Affairs Homeless Providers Grant. Okay. And an agency by the name of Homeless Providers Grant and Per Diem Program offers this grant program. So the Department of Veterans Affairs is announcing the availability of funds to entities eligible to provide time-limited case management services, okay, to improve the preservation of housing by veterans who were otherwise homeless. So this is a great program that does a lot of good in the community, okay? So these veterans are transitioning to permanent housing from programs such as VA's Homeless Providers Grant and Per Diem program, okay? So this is a great opportunity for you as an investor for flipping houses, for flipping buildings, okay? And the cool thing is that this program is offered annually as funding permits by the VA, okay? And they want to fund community agencies and businesses providing services to veterans experiencing homelessness. What we love about this program is that funding is really fast as soon as you actually fulfill the requirements, okay? And the cool thing is that so things like operational costs, including salaries, may be funded by the Per Diem component, okay? For supportive housing, the maximum amount payable under the Per Diem is $60 per day per veteran. Okay, and if you want to build a house, you can actually get a grant of up to $150,000 to $250,000 per house. So this is a great program overall. The whole thing is that you need to actually apply through the VA through VA. And one thing we have found is that if you go to the VA's website and you actually go to that particular program, you can apply there. The only thing is, be sure that you have all the paperwork ready. I'm talking about, if you are a business, you want to have your EIN, you want to have your business licenses and permits, anything that makes your business legit, have it. If you have any question, I want you to email gpdgrants@va.gov. Again, the email is gpdgrants, plural, @va.gov. Fantastic program. The second program I want to talk to you about is the Treasury Department's Social Impact Partnerships to Pay for Result Act, aka CIPRA demonstration project. Fantastic program if you want a fantastic grant to flip houses. Very easy grant, okay? So the U.S. Department of Treasury welcomes applicants from the state and local governments and businesses for awards under the CIPRA project. And so they really want to do a lot of things. They want to improve the lives of families and people in need. They want to redirect funds away from programs that seem ineffective based on objective data and into programs that achieve measurable and apparent results, okay? And they want to ensure that federal funds are used efficiently on social services for positive outcomes to both service recipients and taxpayers, okay? And so this is pretty good. I mean, we love CIPRA, and CIPRA does a lot of good things around the country. And the cool thing about CIPRA is that funds are dispersed really fast. I mean, the Treasury Department doesn't waste time. If you meet the requirements, if you submit the right paperwork, they'll give you the money for you to flip houses. Not a problem, okay? And the cool thing is that you're able to actually do these things by providing minimal paperwork. They don't ask for a lot of paperwork. They ask for the fundamental, things like your EIN, your experience in the industry. They want, in some cases, if the amounts are large, I mean, they can fund all the way to $1 million. The thing is, it depends on the community where you operate, and you can also actually operate in multiple states. Okay, so there is no restriction to only operating one state. Not a problem. If you want to operate interstate wise, this is totally possible. Just make sure that you have the appropriate licenses, you have the appropriate permits, you have if you are in construction, you need to meet all the regulations that pertain to the particular state and location where you are going to flip houses, where you are going to build new houses. Okay, very important. And if you have any question, you actually can go to the Treasury Department, okay, their website, treasury.gov, and you want to search for SIPRA. So it's 2 P's, okay, SIPPRA. So it's 2 P's, and you just enter that, and you'll have all the information. And if you need to provide some kind of they actually have an email address out there also that can help you ask for more information. Okay, so Social Impact Partnerships to Pay for Result Act, SIPRA demonstration project. Number 3, I want to talk to you about HUD's grants. Now, the thing with HUD is that they have a constellation of programs. I mean, in our show today, actually, the HUD is actually the one that has a lot of grants. Okay, by HUD I mean the Housing and Urban Development Department. Okay, and so let's start with one. So they have the Emergency Capital Repair grants, and this is a grant that actually helps you as a business owner, helps you flip houses, and helps the family housing property owners to enable them to carry out emergency repairs. Okay, and so this is a crucial one in the government grants for investment properties, as these funds are used to tackle anything that can impact the safety and health of the tenants. Okay, so examples of repairs allowed include any structural components in critical condition and replacement of mechanical equipment. Okay, so individual investors like you can apply to the HUD for this funds up to a maximum allowed amount for this grant, $500,000. Fantastic. Okay, so your housing project should serve a useful purpose and for the community or the neighborhood where it is located as a requirement for compliance. Okay, very important. So this emergency capital repair grant is fantastic. It provides private businesses, private agencies, all kinds of investors the ability to actually renovate and build new developments. Okay, have new developments that are designated for occupancy by elderly and disadvantaged communities. Okay, and the cool thing is that you get the cash real fast. The next grant I want to talk to you about is called the Home Investment Partnership Program. Okay, and HOME is a federal block grant given to both state and local governments and businesses to help in the creation of affordable housing for low-income households. Okay, so basically you're flipping houses and you're helping low-income households get their houses. This is really good. So local governments will actually get the cash, and then will distribute this cash to businesses and agencies. Okay, and so you got to be a qualified organization. Okay, and so there's a lot of money in this program, up to $2 billion annually. This is really good. Okay, and the cool thing is that you just want to make sure that you apply. You need to apply at the local level, but also at the federal level with HUD, and you need to make sure that you actually qualify in terms of your EIN, your business licenses and permits. And the only thing is with HUD, the grants actually take a little bit of time because there's so much competition. A lot of people apply for this loan. For this grant, so it takes time. Okay, so just make sure that you have all the proper documentation. Okay, and but if you have any question, go to the HUD website and you have a lot of information about it. I want to talk to you now about the Good Neighbor Next Door program. This is another program by HUD, and this program is really cool. I mean, the idea behind this program is to encourage renewal in specific areas. Okay, you have a lot of cash in this program also, but to be eligible, you must purchase property in an area meant for revitalization, and is only open to certain professions, including law enforcement officers, firefighters, teachers, and emergency medical technicians. Okay, so if you commit to living in this property, or you commit to actually selling this property to someone who agrees to live there for at least 3 years, you can receive up to 50% off the list price of the home. This is really good. Okay, and so the thing is, every business that works with single family households can actually benefit from this program. The only thing is that you have to be in what they call revitalization area. Okay, in other words, the government is trying to make sure that they actually revitalize certain areas in the country. Maybe the areas are not really financially speaking, economically speaking, professionally speaking, those areas are kind of dead. Okay, so the government is trying to pump money into those areas to make sure those areas are also revitalized, quote unquote revitalized. Now the thing is that you have to apply for this grant, you got to do two things. You have to apply at the federal level, but also at the state level. So first of all, you apply at the federal level. So you want to go to HUD's website, and you want to see what kind of revitalization area is available in your state. So once you have a list of all those revitalization areas in your state, then you go to your state, the state agency that actually handles the whole Good Neighbor Next Door program. And once you are on that page, you can actually sign up. You can submit your paperwork and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now the thing here is that for this program, you must meet the requirements for a law enforcement officer, teacher, firefighters, or emergency medical technician. In other words, you have to build houses for those people, for those professions. Okay, only. And this is important because this program is really restrictive. However, you can actually get grants up to $500,000 for a flip per house. Okay, and if you or per development, in some cases it really depends on the availability of funds, but also the living standards in where you are flipping the houses. Okay, so the number of properties available is limited, and the list of available properties changes weekly. So you got to stay on top of your game if you want to get this grant. I want to talk to you about Section 542 risk sharing. This is another program that HUD administers another grant. And so this grant is cool because it is available for eligible mortgagors, including investors, builders, developers, and private nonprofit corporations and public entities. Okay. And so this helps in credit enhancement of multifamily housing multifamily housing projects whose loans are unwritten and disposed by housing authorities. So this is kind of cool. And what we love with the Section 542 risk sharing program is that there is money in the program. There's money in this grant program, up to $3 billion every year. Okay, and they distribute that money all across the country. You just have to make sure that you actually talk to first you have to go to the HUD website, and then you have to check your state and local housing financing agencies, your HFAs. Okay, so that way you get all the information for what's available in your state. And the cool thing is you can flip houses you can flip multi-family houses, single family houses, and the whole 9 yards. Totally good. And there's another program that is related to this 542 risk sharing. That's called the Qualified Participating Entities Risk Sharing Program, the QPE program. Okay, and this is kind of cool also because this actually applies to a lot of players, whether you are a flipper, whether you are an investor, you are a builder, you are a developer, whatever. It's what I want to say is that the target audience for this grant is very diverse. Okay, and so basically, again, you want to apply through your state FHAs. Very important. And one thing I want to say very clearly here is that you gotta be not FHA. What am I saying? HFAs. Okay, housing financing agencies. Okay, and so the thing is that the HFA that you choose that is available in your state must be eligible for the program, because things happen at the federal level, but then the funds get distributed at the state level. So it's very important to make sure that your HFA is complying with the rules, and then those funds will trickle down to you. Okay, so the eligible customers include individuals, families, and property owners that actually are looking for affordable housing. So this is a great program, up to $3 billion annually available across the country. Maybe part of it can be yours. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are also having a conversation about top government grants that actually are great for flipping houses. We are speaking about free money from the government, okay? And we're speaking about massive and easy government grants for flipping houses. The next grant I want to talk to you about is called the Neighborhood Stabilization Program grants. And this is kind of cool. I mean, this program is meant to help neighborhoods that have a lot of abandoned or foreclosed homes, okay? And great opportunity for flippers. You just come in, get the cash from the government and actually do your flipping, and then you sell your houses, and this is kind of cool. And those Neighborhood Stabilization Program, those NSP grants, are provided by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We're talking about HUD, okay? And so you can basically, NSP funds were used for activities which included establish the financing mechanisms for purchase and redevelopment of foreclosed homes and residential properties, purchase and rehab homes and residential properties abandoned or foreclosed, establish land banks for foreclosed homes, demolish blighted structures, redevelop demolished or vacant properties. All of these things, boss, I'm talking to you. This is great. This is a flipper bonanza. This is fantastic. This sounds like wonderful. This rings wonderful bells for you, okay? Free money and up to $1 billion. The next one, you have the Main Street Grants. Main Street Grants is another grant that the HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, administers. And under this program, communities with historical downtown districts, aka Main Street, can apply for funds to remodel commercial offices and buildings into affordable rentals, okay? And a condition of receiving this grant program is that the owners must retain the historical and traditional character of the structure. This is really good. And as a flipper, as an investor, you don't have a lot to do. You have to apply through your local housing authority here, okay? But the thing is, you have to make sure that in your proposal, you actually tell the government that you will maintain the historical and structural layout of the building or the house. Okay, this is really good. And so the conditions here: you can be a private business, you can be a local government. You need to make sure that your geography, your location, has to have a population of 50,000 or less. Okay, and you need to have fewer than 100 physical public housing units within the jurisdiction that you are contemplating. I want to talk to you about another grant by HUD, and that's called the Capital Fund Education and Training Community Facility Grant. Kind of long name for a grant, but this is a cool grant, up to $5 billion. Okay, and available nationwide. And the maximum grant in this one is $5 million. Fantastic, okay? Now, what happens here is that public housing authorities can apply for it. And once the public housing authorities apply for it, they have to outsource the task to flippers like you. And that's when you come in, okay? And basically, so capital funding for these authorities are great because they allow them to outsource the construction, the purchase, and the rehab of facilities for early childhood education, adult education, or job training programs all over the country. This is really good, okay? And what we love here is that there's money in this program. Money, a lot of money, okay? And you also have the Capital Fund Education and Training Community Facilities Program that actually provides up to $15 million per grant. And nationwide, they have like nearly $1.5 billion. Fantastic. Another grant I want to talk to you about is called the Affordable Housing Grant. Again, this grant is good because it actually provides funding for low-income housing. And as a flipper, this is good for you, right? Because you have housing for seniors, people with disabilities, and families that have a low income. And so you basically want to flip houses and you want to build affordable housing projects, okay? And you want to keep rents affordable. You want to keep sales affordable. If you can do this, you can get free money from the government, okay? The thing is that the Community Development Block Grants Program provides annual grants on a formula basis to states, cities, and counties to develop viable urban communities by providing decent housing and a suitable living environment, and by expanding economic opportunities principally for low and moderate income persons. Okay, and so this program has been around for a while. Actually, they started this program nearly 50 years ago. Okay, 1974. So this is good. It has been very successful. Okay, and it was designed to reinforce several important values and principles of community development. Okay, so this is really good. And to apply for this program, you can apply at the state level, but also at the federal level. Make sure you have all the permits and licenses and all the requirements. Okay, fantastic grant. So here you have it. So we had a constellation of HUD's grants. Now I want to talk about other grants that are actually administered by other other government departments. So you have the USDA Rural Programs Rentals. So the USDA, we were talking about the United States Department of Agriculture, right? The cool thing is that they actually provide a number of programs to help people in rural areas. This is really good. Okay, not all of these areas are remote areas though, because some are even well populated. You just have to be in a rural. You have to be in a rural area. Okay, so if you are, let's say, an elderly or disabled, and your income is considered low, and you can't find rent that is no more than 1/3 of your earning, then you might qualify for the rental assistance program. As a flipper, you are actually in a good position to provide housing for this type of people. Okay, so multifamily housing assists rural property owners through loans, loan guarantees, and grants that enable owners to develop and rehab properties for low-income, elderly, and disabled individuals and families, as well as domestic farm laborers. So my point here is that you can get up to $1 million per housing projects through this grant. Okay, so the grant is actually also free money, but they also do loans. They have loan guarantees also. Okay, so this is really good. And when we talk about with this USDA rural programs rentals, we're speaking about multifamily housing that works with the owners of this direct and farm labor housing loan properties to subsidize rents for low income tenants who cannot afford to pay their full rent. Okay, and additionally, when a direct loan ends its initial term, this program actually provides additional money. So what I'm trying to say here is that this program provides free money in the forms of grants, but also provides assistance in terms, it actually subsidizes loans and lines of credit. So you as a flipper, you have the opportunity to actually build houses, build housing units, and actually flip them with the assistance of the government. Just make sure that you actually operate in a rural area. That's what it is. Okay, you can't operate under this program. You cannot operate in an urban setting. No, it has to be in a rural area. So once you have that, you're good to go. I want to talk to you now about another grant that you might love. It's the OJP, so the Office of Justice Department. This they have a transitional housing program that grants a lot of money, free money. Okay, so they provide grant for short-term housing for the homeless, abused, or addicted, among others. Okay, and however, as this is the case, they come through government entities and nonprofits who in turn provide them to individuals and businesses. Okay, as a flipper, you got to work with an entity that actually gets the money from the federal government. There is about $5 to $10 billion in this fund. This is really fantastic. Okay, wonderful. So this is really great. So if you are, let's say, a flipper who provides housing for those communities, you can actually make a lot of money. I mean, not make money, but you can get free money to actually develop your business. Okay, and make sure that you target a specific audience here. We're speaking about homeless, the abused, or addicted. Okay, particularly if you want to deal with women with or without children, you may be able to find emergency shelters. To find financing for emergency shelters and housing. Okay, this is really good. And the last one is the EDA grants. So the Economic Development Administration. Okay, so this agency provides grants to encourage economic growth. Okay, and what we love about this grant is that you can actually get up to $1 million in grant, depending on your your project and where this project is located. But the cool thing is that they're not asking you for any they're not asking you for gazillions of conditions. No, the condition is that you have to ensure that your grants helps improve the economy. That's what it is. So as long as you can package your grant application in a good way and you can explain to the government how you are going to improve the economy, you could be able to get this grant very easily. Okay. So the Economic Development Administration of the United States, this is so they have a constellation of grants depending again on the state where you're applying from. So here you have it. Okay, I give you a whole list of grants that you can qualify for. We're talking about free money from the government, massive and easy government grants for flipping houses. Okay, so I spoke to you about the VA's Homeless Providers Grant, the Treasury Department's Social Impact Partnerships to Pay for Results Act, the CIPRA demonstration projects. I give you a list of HUD's grants, the Emergency Capital Repair grants, the Home Investment Partnerships Program. I spoke about the Good Neighbor Next Door program, Section 542 risk sharing. Okay, we have a Neighborhood Stabilization Program grants. We have Main Street grants. We have Capital Fund Education and Training Community Facility grants. We are talking about affordable housing grants. We talk about USDA rural programs rentals. We spoke about OJP's transitional housing. And last but not the least, we spoke about EDA grants. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.